This is Nikki in Niagara coming to you from Niagara Falls, Canada. And today I thought I would take you along for the ride while I work on the next part of my poster. If you've been following my finished pages for the last 2 months, you will know all about me working on this, as I spoke about it and I show my progress at the end of each month with my finished pages. What is the poster? At the back of every Fabiana Attanasio fairy tale book, I guess we could call them that, there is a poster, a ginormous poster. And I decided that why not color it? This is a no rush, finish it when it gets finished type of project. Basically, I work on it a few nights here and there during the month when I'm kind of in between books. And just a minute, take a sip. Sort of when I'm between books and there isn't really enough time to start a new one, I bring this out and work on it. So this is how much I've got done. I've got the carnival finished, I've got the sea finished, and I've got the sky finished, which goes over onto this side of it here. So this is a big poster. This is its width, and I can't show you the length because it's too much, but this is half. This is half of the length. It goes again. So what I've done is I've opened up the poster and I have folded it into fourths. So when it's this way, I have the two top halves going across, and when I come down, open it up and look down, we will have the two bottom halves. So the bit of, shall I say, homework I gave myself for this month was to do the grass and the bushes. So that covers this part right here, and then there's a bit here. It stops here where there's a bit of a ledge, and this is pavement, and this part is grass. You can see the little squiggles in it indicating it's grass. And this also crosses over and goes down here to this little bit at the bottom of the character's feet. This little bit right here. So I'm going to be doing that bit. And the grass that I've shown you up here. And then I also, the bushes are here. There's a bush here. And then there's some leaves here and here. And then, what I also want to accomplish this month, I have to open it up a little bit because it crosses the fold mark, is to do this first building right here, which seems to be some kind of, I don't know what you would call it. There's a castle behind it, but this is more of like a shed or a hut or something. Maybe a prison because it's got a bar on the window there. You'll have to excuse me because I have a croaky voice from having sinus problems the last week and a half. And I have to keep taking sips. I'm just going to cough here. And Okay, that's not going to help. Okay, I'm going to pause here for a moment. Okay, I'm back. My voice is a little bit better, but we don't know how long it'll last. So this building right here, a little bit right here, this building, and the grass. So what I came to work on before I can work on that building is the grass. Now, what I have done is I have this folded in half, and in here I have a huge piece of watercolor paper. I have a pad of watercolor paper that's this way, and it fits in here nicely. You might, if you have these large pads of water paper, you can use it too, or go get a cutting mat from the dollar store to put in there. So I'm doing the grass, and I'm going to do it the same way as I did the sky and the river, and that is to use water-soluble crayons along with odorless minerals. I mean odorless, yeah. Odorless mineral spirits, there we go. Gamsol, terpenoid, whatever variety you have. So I can't tell you how you can get a set of these because I bought them off of AliExpress a couple of years ago. Now, they are absolutely excellent for pigment. They're soft and they're smooth and they're wonderful to look at, but they do not completely dissolve in water, so I don't use them as water soluble. What I do is I rub them with odorless mineral spirits or Gamsol, and that makes a brilliantly vivid background. So first thing we're going to do is color in the grass. And I've got the latest green that I have in there. And you can do this with your Neo 2s or your Lyras or whatever other brand of water-soluble crayon that you have. You can even use wax crayons, like your Crayola crayons, because the Gamsol will dissolve them too. You do need to use, for the crayons, you do need to use the bright and the dark colors. The pale colors, once they're melted with the Gamsol, don't show up very much. They're very, very pale, so you don't want to waste your time or have to do 2 or 3 layers because of that. Now, it's important that we get into these folds and these, well, both the folds, both the valleys and the mountains, so that we don't have gaps in our crayon. So of course we don't have to color like a master artist because it's all going to be redone. And the rest of the poster, when I color, I use, how does that work? Do I want, how many greens do I have? Yeah, no, I'm going to use this one. So I'm coloring it in alcohol markers because this isn't meant to be something that's going to take a lifetime to do, which It very closely will do if you're using if you're using pencil crayons, or as the Americans call them, colored pencils. So we're going right up to the edge here to where the cement starts. I'm not too sure what color I'm going to do this little bit right here. It's kind of like it was, like it might be stone. I think that would be our best bet to do, because I don't think they had cement back in the day of when Pinocchio was written. It was written by Carlo Collodi. I can't remember how to pronounce it. Okay, so now I'm folding this over, so it's going to be folded over and fold this piece that way. This is all awkward to manipulate it, but now we got the little bit of the grass down here. So if anyone, what we need to do is open this up. Okay, so this is going to be awkward part because we're opening this up, and if you have got a great big kitchen table to do this on, it is going to be a big help. Then you could probably keep the poster open, or at least half lengthwise open. Okay, so I've done over the fold line, and I'm gonna put that back up. Now, I'm gonna have to unfold it when I go over with the gam saw. So as I was saying, if you would like to join me in doing this, it isn't too late to catch up. You can, okay, we're going to have to go over the fold again here. Just up to there. Need to really get the color into that. Okay. Just take a look at the beginning of this video where I told you what I had already done and what I planned to do this month, and I'll go over it. And if you can get yourself caught up this month to where I am, or at least partially there, then you can use this month and next month to get yourself caught up. And I will give the homework assignment, we shall call them, for the month's work. Now you can do this any way you want. I'm just giving you ideas or showing you how I'm going about doing it as I do. But to keep up with the schedule, and I have no determined finish date. It's just going to be however long it takes, and things will slow down over the holidays and everything. So we'll only be working on a small section next month. But use markers and water-soluble materials, pencils, the crayons like I'm doing on this part. And I think since we're here, I'm going to do that part. I can't decide if it should be gray for stone or if it should be brown for dirt. No, I'm going to do it stone, because then we come here And this is going to be like, we'll say, a stoned path. There are a few little circle marks in here which are indicating that it's stoned. I'm just taking another sip of my drink. So I only have two grays to choose from, a light and a dark, so obviously I'm using my light. And I'm going to color this. So, if you do want to color with me, I think we'll have a hashtag called Nikki's Pinocchio, hashtag Nikki's Pinocchio poster. That'll just mean that if anybody else is, who doesn't know about the color along, is working on this poster, they'll probably put in Pinocchio poster as their hashtag. So we'll add my name, Nikki, to it, and go from there. Now, I just need to fold it a little bit here so I can get over the fold line. Okay. Now, I'm going to flip it back to over here. And I'm picking up, I don't know if you can see it, I'm picking up the gray from here and working along. So sorry about my throat and everything. It's just horrible with sinuses this year. Okay, so the bushes I'm going to do in a darker green. I think they use this one. This should be like a no, it's not quite dark enough. It might have to be, it might have to do, but I'm going to try one more. Yeah, this one will work. These are all pretty bright, vibrant colors that I have here. Actually, no, we'll do that afterwards. Keep that out. Okay, so we're going to go and do the bushes, which are here and here. So, you don't have to worry about leaving blank spaces, and you can, when you're doing this, you can make it touch the water so that there's no space, and that'll kind of get blended together there. Now I'm not going to use crayon for the leaves. I'm going to color those in with my alcohol markers. So I'm going into these sections and being very careful not to actually touch the leaves. And this goes down to here. Now, just realizing I missed a spot. right here has got to be grass. And what about there? What is he holding on to? This is a cane. It goes like that. Or is it an umbrella? No, it's a cane. And that goes like that. So that is probably grass too. And there's a bit down there. Okay. So, and then I'm just going to do this little bit right there. Okay, there's some more leaves. I'm not doing those. Okay, so need to go in here with my grass between the two characters. And there is no patterning that they are behind this. Really, it should be, but it's not there. So in between the cane here, we're going to color it grass. What's this over here? Oh, that's part of him. Okay, need to have another sip. Now I've put my odorless spirits into a little container here because you shouldn't dip it straight from the bottle, because you will use way too much and you'll waste it. So this, and I have to put the lid on really tight to keep it airtight, but this is a makeup little jar from some makeup, and inside of it is a sponge, a kitchen sponge, and I poured my mineral spirits into there, and it has soaked it up. And you can just, I don't know if you can see, but the bottom of my finger is wet. Yeah, you can see how wet it is. So it's on there. If this ever starts feeling dry, then I get my hands in there and I flip the thing over, because a lot of the spirit will have soaked to the bottom, so the bottom will be really wet. And this will last for a long time, so that if you buy a bottle of odorless mineral spirits, it could quite last you your life. Oh, excuse me, I'm going to have to pause. Blow my nose. Okay, so I'm back. I feel a little bit better. Let's hope my voice will stay with me now. So, I am going to use a makeup sponge like this. It's got some cat hairs on it. We get those off. So, I'm using a wedge makeup sponge. You can use any size you want. You can use the round pads. And I dip it into my stuff, and I am going to start blending. So you can do these with your, Neo 2s, and the finished product has no wax on it. It feels nice and smooth, just like the paper. You've got to rub it in. I'm using a bit of pressure here because I am using well, basically these are children's water crayons. So I don't know how hard you'll have to push with Neo 2s. I don't have any of those right now, but I actually do plan on getting myself some, probably as a Christmas present to myself. And get these little bits in here. Try not to get onto the other parts, but it's okay if you do, because your markers and your pencils, if you insist on using pencil crayons, will write over this stuff, because we're taking all the wax and oil out of it. So now we'll start down here. Okay, so I'm going to get this side done before I flip it. Just make sure that when you're working on it and you get to these folds that you've got in your material, that you hold it open so that you can color right over that, and color it good so that you get right into the crack. Now, if at some point your poster will tear, then put some tape on it on the back. So if you've got a tear here, you want to fix it on this side, not this side, okay? Because we can't color over it, so put it on that side. And if you can, use an archival tape, then it won't turn itself brown in 10 years and fall off. Okay, so I'm going to finish up the video here soon. Just want to show you what else I'm going to do here is, now that I've got this part all smoothed out and rubbed in, I'm going to go over these grass lines with a different green. And that seems it. Now the stars that are all over the place. Oh, these aren't the stars. Okay. So these stars that are all over the place, we're just not going to color, because I didn't take them into account. They're coming from the wand anyways. So yeah, just color around these. We'll see to those later. But I'm going over these little bits, and I am just going to use my finger to rub them in. You can use something else if you don't want to use your finger. Just want to smooth them out so that, I don't like how my finger's working. Okay, so for getting into the tiny corners and that sort of stuff, and obviously for this, I sometimes use a Q-tip. I'm going to just roll it in this stuff. Now I'm going to go over this part. Yeah, that's working better. and rub it in so that it's just a little darker on those spots. You should be able to see your Gamsol on your thing to know you're working, that it's working. Okay, so I'm using a new sponge for a new color. So I'm just going to show you doing the bush here. Just rubbing it over the edges so it blends into the green there. I've got a little bit of wax coming out there. That probably won't happen if you're using more expensive wax things. And that is basically what we're doing. So if you're interested in joining me, to catch up, you need to do the carnival, the sky, and it goes over just a little bit. The sea, this is all there is of the sea. That's what was done. And then the assignment for November is to do this grass, which goes over the fold a little bit, the bushes, and this building right here, and its leaves and this little stone wall, and it goes over to the other side just a little bit. So, and the hashtag again will be Nikki's Pinocchio poster, and I'll put that down below, or I'll put it somewhere so you can see it. And yeah, if you've got this, then I'd love to have you join me. And if you haven't, I know that it is currently at Book Outlet. They have about 3 of her books right now. Her English books, I think there's 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that one's 5. Yeah, 5 of them are in English, and then there's 4 that you can only get in Italian. So they always have 1 or 2 or a few at Book Outlet, and right now Pinocchio is one of the ones that they have. So, in the meantime, until next time. Oh, one last thing. If you have any questions about what I'm talking about here, just ask down below. And the next time you will see this poster will be when I show you my finished items at the my finished pages at the end of the month. I will show you a progress report of this, and we'll talk about what we're doing next, or I might do a separate video for it if I know anybody has joined me. So, in the meantime, until next time, bye-bye.